That freeze is now on pause after a federal judge ordered a halt for President Donald Trump's order. And as our Paul Drews explains, it didn't happen before causing confusion and panic for local nonprofits.
That's a big one.
Trump's plan had Hawaii nonprofit organizations scrambling throughout the day.
It's been a flurry of phone calls, emails from partners, lots of confusion, lots of uncertainty with this latest executive order.
The president's executive order calls for a pause on paying out federal funds while a comprehensive review of all federal financial assistance programs is done.
But what we understand is that the federal pause really is intended to ensure that the funding that goes out by the federal government aligns with President Trump's priorities.
The order stated assistance that's going directly to individuals will not be impacted. So those who got federal student loans or direct assistance like Section 8 housing were still expected to get their funds. But nonprofit groups who received those federal funds then distributed them to individuals were unsure if they would be cut off, along with organizations who support efforts the president is against.
We will have to, of course, watch to see how specialized programs that might align with diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, those have been called into scrutiny by President Trump last week. Anything that supports perhaps undocumented residents, that might also be reviewed as part of this pause. There were a couple of other initiatives around gender ideology that he also flagged as being subject to review.
He's undertaking a crusade against transgender people. We do serve transgender people here.
Even before the latest action by the president, some Hawaii nonprofits were unable to get those much-needed federal funds.
Some of our providers that had tried to draw down some funds, actually from Friday, still hadn't gotten their funds. There were a lot of payment portals that were already unavailable.
More than just nonprofit organizations are worried about a federal funding freeze, but also the state government. Workforce development, unemployment insurance, and job training are just some of the many Hawaii programs supported by hundreds of millions of dollars in federal monies. By the afternoon, the funding freeze was put on hold by a federal judge who temporarily blocked Trump's efforts to hold back trillions of dollars in grants and loans. But that may be just a temporary reprieve, leaving nonprofit organizations wondering if funding cuts are in their future.
The possibility is always there, but we'll do what we have to do to ensure that people in need get the care services that they deserve. And we are also hopeful that state and local policymakers will be supportive of pursuing the health and well-being of all members of our community here.
Paul Drews, Island News.